Hello children, welcome to your biology class. Today we are going to start the chapter 5, the fundamental unit of life. What is the fundamental unit of life? That is cell. Already you read this in class 8. While examining a thin slice of cork, Robert Hooke saw that the cork resembled the structure of a honeycomb consisting of many little compartments, and this compartment he termed as cell. In Latin, the meaning of cell is a little room. So what he has observed, it may seem to be very small and insignificant incident, but it is very important in the history of science. This was the very first time that someone had observed that living things appear to consist of separate units. That means earlier it was not known about, that is what the body of a living organism made up of. Now all of us we know that is the body of the living organism are made up of cells. And what are cells? These are the basic unit. And this use of word cell to describe the units is used till this day in biology. Let us find out about cells. Now what are living organisms made up of? These are made up of cells. Now we know. Now to see the cells, this activity can be done, and when we get the chance, certainly this activity can be done in the laboratory. Just right now I am giving you a brief idea about this. To see the cells from the onion bulb. Now the onion bulb, just if you place it in the microscope, certainly you will not be able to see the cells of it. Rather you have to take a thin slide, that is the onion bulb which has got the scales. So you have to take the scales and the thin transparent membrane. From these scales we have to take it out, we have to color it, and coloring agents are there like methylene blue, safranin. We put little glycerin also to keep it moist, and after that we place it under the microscope. As we place it under the microscope, we can observe the cells. So these are the cells, right, where the cells of the onion bulb. If we place it under the microscope, just here you see this black structure, the partition which is partitioning the this cell. This is the cell wall, and this dot structure, that is the nucleus, and inner part, that is the cytoplasm. So certainly these things which can be observed under the microscope. The microscope, here see the diagram of a microscope it is given, and just I am explaining about the parts of it. Here you can see it has got the eyepiece, it has got the objective lens. So there are two lenses which is magnifying the object. The object is being placed, or the material is being placed on the stage. It is being placed on the stage. This is the stage. Now the which is actually we are placing it in a microscopic slide. So microscopic slide which is placed on the stage, and it has got a mirror. See, this is the mirror, and mirror is to, what is the function of the mirror? The function of the mirror is to focus the light. So the light which is focused on it and on the stage, so that we can see, we put our eye on this eyepiece and we can see this. And there are two other things, like see the coarse adjustment and the fine adjustment. With the help of this we can lift up the body tube. Either we can lift up or we can put it down. So by this adjustment we can, just as we adjust it in a proper way, we are able to see the slide which has been placed on the stage. So this is the microscope when we make this onion pill, and after that the temporary amount of the onion pill, when we place it in the stage of the microscope, we can observe the cells, and the cells look like this. So we can try preparing the temporary amounts of peels of onion of different size. Now thing is, that is, suppose you can make it with the scales of the onion of a big size or of a small size. But what do you think, if I take it from a big one or from a small one, will it that means we'll see different structures, or you will see the same structure right now which I have shown? Certainly you will observe that it will show the same structure. So this structure looks similar to each other. Together they form a big structure like the onion bulb. We find from this activity that onion bulbs of different sizes have similar small structure visible under a microscope. So if you see, that is, the onion bulbs of different sizes have the similar small structures visible under the microscope. The cells of the onion peel will all look the same regardless the size of the onion they come from. These small structures that we see are basic building units of onion bulb. So what are these? These are the basic building units of the onion bulb. These structures So these are the basic building units of the onion bulb. These structures are called cells. Now, not only the onions but all organisms that we observe around are made up of cells. However, there are also single cells that live on their own. That means what? This may be made up of one cell, this may be made up of many cells. So as you read about the unicellular and multicellular organism. So the invention of magnifying lenses led to the discovery of microscopic world. It is now known that a single cell may constitute a whole organism. Whole organism, like see amoeba. Amoeba is made up of only one cell. The other examples like Chlamydomonas, paramecium and bacterial cells. These organisms are called unicellular organisms. These are called unicellular organisms, just having only one cell. And certainly there are and though it is made up of only one cell, it is able to perform all the life activities shown by the multicellular organism. That means what? These cells, which are self-sustaining units, it can sustain life by the help of the parts what it has got in its cell, right? So that again we are going to explain about this. Now there are some then this question you can do, that is find out names of some more unicellular organisms. You have already read about some of this and you can find it out. Names of many more unicellular organisms. Now here we will go through, that is the discovery of the cell, and after that many more discovery which took place in various years. Now the cell was first discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665, that you know about. Then Leeuwenhoek first observed the living cells in the pond water. Living cells, what Robert Hooke discovered, that was these were dead cells, and Leeuwenhoek discovered the living cells. Robert Brown coined the term. Robert Brown in the 1831 discovered the nucleus. Nucleus you are familiar with. Parkinson coined the term, that is protoplasm, that is the fluid which is present inside the cell, and the cell theory which has been given by Sladen and so on. The cell theory which has been given, and Virchow suggested that is all cells arise from the pre-existing cells. And with the discovery of the electron microscope in 1940, it was possible to observe and understand the complex structure of the cell and its various organelles. A term you get, organelles. Now see, that is certainly that cell itself is microscopic. Now to see the parts of the cell, we need to have a powerful microscope. So after the invention of this electron microscope, it has become possible, though many more things yet to be known about the cell. Now here see various cells from the human body. Some of this already you have read about this. This is ovum, this is the sperm, this is the bone cells, these are the blood cells, this is the smooth muscle cell. And here, which one, the diagram which is missing, I am trying to just draw this one, which already you have seen this one. This is the nerve cell. See, these have got the branched part. The pencil is not like as we are used to, so certainly it is taking more time. But simple words Simple way, if I it has got this type of elongated part. One is elongated part, and this the branch part which are there. So certainly this branch part or the elongated part, it has got certain function, and accordingly it has got this type of structure. So the shape and size of the cells are related to the specific function of they perform. The shape and the size of the cells are related to the specific function they perform. Some cells like amoeba changes, it has got changing shape for capturing their food, and for moving. Certainly they have the pseudopodia which they take out, and it helps them, it facilitates the cell to perform those activities. But all of these are not like that. Each living cell has a capacity to perform certain basic functions that are characteristic of all living forms. So each cell has got okay. Now, how does a living cell perform these basic functions? It has got certain parts that help it to do so. We know that there is a division of labor in multicellular organisms such as human beings. This means that different parts of the human body perform different functions. The human body has a heart to pump blood, a stomach to digest food, and so on. Similarly, division of labor is also seen within a single cell in many cases. In fact, each such cell has got certain specific components. Each such cell has got certain specific components within it known as the organelle. So organelle, that is part of the cell which is performing certain specific function. Each kind of cell organelle performs a specific function, such as making new material in the cell, clearing up the waste material from the cell, and so on. A cell is able to live and perform all its functions because of its organelles. A cell is able to live A cell is able to live and perform all its functions because of these organelles. These organelles together constitute the basic unit called the cell. It is interesting that all cells are found to have same cell organelles, no matter what their function is or what organism they are found in. So today up to this much, and here you can get the answer of these two questions: who discovered cells, and how, and why is the cell called the structural and functional unit of life. The structural and the first question, certainly you are able to answer it, and the second question you get the answer over here. This para you can get the answer over here. Try to find it out and try to prepare this. Thank you, children.